guys, I'm here to give my long range or at least 6 months prediction for what's going to go in the crypto market for the next half year. I do believe that towards the end of the 6 months, we might get a second leg of the bull run, and it's fairly likely. But in the next few months, I don't really believe so. And here's why. Right now, we're actually seeing an increase in the amount of demand for long-term bonds. That generally correlates with a decrease in demand for risk-on assets like stocks or crypto. And of course, that comes with economic uncertainty and fears of inflation, which have actually gone up significantly in the last few weeks. Both the turmoil in the Middle East, some of the stuff in Ukraine, and also just the tariffs especially have really stoked fears of prices rising and of an unstable economy, which basically makes people go back into bonds. Because in crypto as well, just in the overall crypto market, like you see coins selling back into Bitcoin as uncertainty rises. The more uncertain the economy is, the less likely people are going to dump money into riskier assets, whether that's altcoins just in the cryptoverse, or that's stocks and crypto overall in the overall basket of assets. Now, they actually do believe that the US is going to stay together as a country. Most people do. Otherwise, they wouldn't be buying bonds. And that the bonds will actually overcome the uncertainty despite their lower yield of maybe 4% right now. But more people are afraid of just losing all their money in crypto than basically just getting a small 4% yield. So basically because bonds actually are seeing an increase in demand right now, I do think cryptos, especially altcoins, are going to see a decrease in demand. And Bitcoin, even with their state ETFs coming in, I don't think it'll quite offset that, because I do think the macroeconomic factors will actually outweigh all the the ETFs and the state treasury bonds coming through. Now, the strategic crypto reserve for the entire United States, I don't think will actually be passed until towards the end of the year, or maybe even the beginning of next year. The state reserves, Texas, Arizona, Utah, especially South Dakota, I do think we'll see some of them coming through in March. But each state individually is fairly small, and it'll take several months for a large amount of these states to actually come through with the reserve. So that money shouldn't really be affecting us, at least for a couple of months. And these states are also all saying eventually we want to invest 10% in Bitcoin. It's going to take them a while to get up to 10%, and they're going to buy small amounts OTC, over a certain length of time. So it might not actually pump the coins that much. And all the regulatory stuff probably takes a couple of months to actually get through. And even with regulatory breakthroughs, if the overall crypto sentiment is downward, it's really not going to help that coin pump that much, or it'll pump a little bit and then essentially go back down. So right now the sentiment is more of a pro bond sentiment rather than a pro risky investment sentiment, which is what you really want for a Bitcoin and crypto market. Now, it is my grand hope that in a couple of months, this will settle down. They'll make some kind of deals for those tariffs, which means they're pretty much going to sign the same trade agreement under a different name. Both sides will declare victory, and all this nonsense will actually be over. And then with the inflation coming down because the tariffs are gone, that will actually get people more confident. That will get Jerome Powell to cut the rates down. Hopefully we have 1 or 2 cuts this year at least. And then crypto can actually slowly edge up as the incentive to invest in bonds goes down. See, it's all a relationship between the interest rate, how much people want bonds and how much people want risk on assets. That's going to determine when and if we get another bull run. And right now it actually looks probably more later in the summer. Towards the end of this year. That doesn't mean you should sell everything. I think Bitcoin's still going to hold pretty strong above 90K. So I wouldn't really sell all my coins, but I would actually concentrate on Bitcoin if you're going to buy right now, because I think all the smaller coins are simply just going to sell into Bitcoin. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.